Hi there, everybody. I'm Beth Miller. Today I'm going to be talking to you about a skill that helps you to let go of distressing thoughts or feelings that keep grabbing your mind or occupying your mind even though you don't want them to. Sometimes you'll be thinking negatively about something, or you'll feel a very strong pull or urge to, let's say, use a substance that you are trying not to use. And that desire to do that, or desire to think about something that upsets you over and over and over again, needs a tool in order to help it to release or let go. Now, the idea of letting go really sounds simpler than it usually is. For some reason, letting go has always been hard for us, even though people will say, oh, just let it go, just let it go. And we'll say, gosh, I wish I could, but my mind keeps being so attached to whatever it keeps thinking about or perseverating on or being addicted to. So this tool is strangely effective, though remarkably simple. If you've studied any kind of, or you've any kind of awareness of mindfulness principles or the theory of mindfulness, part of it is learning that you are not what your mind is thinking about, that you are larger than that, that you are the observer who observes the minds that you have, and those minds are really busy doing things, busy thinking about things, and busy worrying about things. Those minds are busy doing those things. And the reason that we know we're not those minds themselves, even though we feel like they control us sometimes, is because we can observe them. We can step back and see them thinking about what they're thinking or doing what they're doing. Let's say, for instance, you decided that you want to swear off all junk food for a while, and then sometime in the evening you start getting an urge to have junk food. The urge that you have is not you. The urge that you have is being held by a mind, a part of you. And that mind, we know, is not you because you can observe it. You can step back and see yourself wanting to have a bag of Doritos. And you can even see yourself going over to the cabinet and opening up the cabinet and pulling down the bag of Doritos. And the observer that you are is your consciousness. It's the seat of your soul. It's who you really are. It's your larger self. That larger self, good news, is not the little mind. So the trick to this tool is being able to not only become the observer, to separate out yourself from the mind that you believe that you're all sucked up in, but on top of that, the trick to this tool is then also allowing the observer to take charge and help the mind to let go of its strong pull on you. If you've ever read maybe any of Jon Kabat-Zinn's work about mindfulness, or maybe Michael Singer's The Untethered Soul, which is a book I really recommend, you can get even more information about how you are not your mind, but you are the observer. But for now, what I'm going to ask you to do is to close your eyes and take a couple of nice deep breaths. Just become present. Close your eyes now, feet squarely on the floor. Sit up nice and straight in your chair. Take a couple of nice deep breaths. And I'm going to ask you to intentionally bring to mind the thing that is bothering you. The thing that your mind is all caught up on. Maybe it's a negative thought, or it's an urge that you have, or a worry that you can't seem to let go of, negative self-talk about yourself that you can't let go of. And when you bring that to mind, I would like you to just observe it. Just observe that that mind is so busy on those thoughts. And I want you to take this one step further and start imagining that the observer is like a mother, and she's watching all of her minds in a room. And some of those minds are playing quietly in the corner, and others of those minds are having temper tantrums and trying to get her attention. And other minds might be busy thinking about positive things. And these are all the minds that you have. And the observer is who you really are. The mother in the room, observing all of these minds doing their thing. And the thing is, the one that's having a temper tantrum is the one that really gets your attention the most. And it gets your attention the most because it's loudest and it keeps grabbing your attention. As Michael Singer says, like it grabs your attention like if you dropped a bowling ball on your foot, that's where your focus would go to. Continue with your eyes closed. Keep listening and observe as the mother in the room, the observer, looking over at that mind that's having a temper tantrum. That's the mind that was worrying or causing you distress or talking negatively. That's the mind. Now all you have to do is, as you take another nice deep breath and great long exhale, all you need to do right now is, as you look right at that mind and you're listening to it and all of its chaos and distress and pain and frustration, is just say these words in your mind or out loud. I'm letting you go. I'm letting you go. I'm letting you go. Take a nice deep breath. Keep saying it as you exhale. I'm letting you go now. I'm letting you go. I'm letting you go now. I'm letting you go. I'm letting go. What you're going to notice, continue with your eyes closed, keep listening. What you're going to notice is that your mind, that busy temper tantrum mind, is going to start fading, or it's going to soften at the edges, or it's going to quiet down, or it might just start tumbling down into the abyss of thoughts, just releasing. But as you say, I'm letting you go, I'm letting you go, I'm letting you go, I'm letting you go, that mind is just softening and leaving. And you're just watching because you're the observer. You're in control. You're telling that mind what to do. You're telling that mind, I'm letting you go now. You're in charge. You're the observer. You're the consciousness. You're in charge. I'm letting you go. Take a nice deep breath. Continue with your eyes closed. Notice that that mind is probably going to fight for its life. It might try to crawl up the sink, like if you were to wash a spider down the sink. It's going to crawl right back up and try to get your attention again. It's going to have another temper tantrum now or in a few minutes. That's okay. Take a nice deep breath when it does that and say, I'm letting you go. I'm releasing you. I'm letting you go. I'm letting go. I'm letting go. Now go ahead and take a nice deep breath and a great long exhale and open up your eyes. And if the mind had not totally let go in that moment, you would need to spend a few more moments doing what I just did with you. And if you were to use this video to help you let go, you'd want to press pause there and just keep letting go until it finally dissipates. And do you know that if you do that enough times, that mind's going to fight for its life. It's going to come back. But if you keep doing that with that mind, you keep saying, I'm letting you go, I'm letting you go, then eventually it loses power. It loses its muscle, it gets tired, and it will soften and dissipate, and it will release. And you might have to do this 200 times a day. That's okay. Or maybe you have to do it twice a day. And sometimes you'll be able to sit down and close your eyes just like you did now. Or other times you're going to be saying that to yourself while you're doing dishes. You're doing dishes and your mind starts ruminating and worrying about something, or you start getting mad at somebody that, it's not going to serve you to be angry at. And you're going to say, I'm letting you go, I'm letting you go, I'm letting you go to that mind until eventually it lets go and it releases. And then there you are, and you're going to say, oh my gosh, I have a huge amount of power. I'm the observer, I'm in charge. And I just caused that mind to quiet down and to let go. and you realize that you are not going to be a victim to those minds anymore, that you get to be the one that decides what happens inside the field of your mind. That's the letting go skill for today, the letting go tool. Practice, 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 practice. Send me emails to supertherapy@optonline.net. Send me Facebook messages to Super Therapy for Your Life and Soul with Beth Miller. Visit Beth Miller Meditations or Super Therapy with Beth Miller for more information. Oh, Beth Miller Meditations has 5 free meditation downloads also to help you to relax and to reach a good state of creation. So I hope you find this to be useful to you, and I look forward to seeing you next time.